You're about to listen to the Timey-Wimey Tea Time Podcast, a geekyantics.net and allgames.com production. Find out what everyone's talking about. The Doctor, of course. Doctor Who? Exactly, that Doctor. Join us live at www.twitch.tv/geekyantics. That's GEEKYANTICS. Hang out with us, ask questions, laugh, and have at it. We can't wait to hear what's on your minds and hearts.
Tiny Wimey Tea Time.
Greetings and welcome to Timey-Wimey Tea Time, where friends gather to talk about all things Doctor Who, sci-fi, fantasy, zombies, creativity, and geekdom as a whole. I'm Yomer Lopez, known throughout the interwebs and sometimes the Whoverse as Yogizilla. Friends IRL call me Yogi. And as our old friend Stan Farina, those of you who have been with us from the beginning, first 12, 15 episodes or so, you guys may remember him saying that I'm a gamer, I'm a dreamer, an author of silliness, a disgruntled techie, and a wild-eyed entrepreneur. I'm also, apparently, as far as he's concerned, a fistful of happy emojicons and sunshine. And I ride into battle upon a glittering My Little Pony. That's beautiful. Out of my mouth come laughing swords of peppermint and ginger. These are all things that I think are pretty true, pretty accurate. I try to be pretty upbeat kind of guy. Even when I'm salty, even when I make little jokes, I may come off as a curmudgeon to some people or a hipster at times, but I'm just having a good time. It's all in good fun. I'm a pretty easy to talk to, pretty approachable guy. But above all, now those are all just descriptors of my personality type, but I think the most important thing to take away from this introduction is that I hope that we can become friends as we embark upon a journey through time and space, the human condition, and merriment / bantering. There's plenty of that to be had. So that's what our tea time is for. That's what Timey-Wimey Tea Time is. Hashtag TWTT. And we hope that you will join in. You can join in many ways. Twitter. I'm at Yogizilla and at Geeky Antics. Oolongs is at Fatal Blades. It's F8, the number 8, TL Blades. He's not here today, but he normally is. He's having some scheduling issues, so he apologizes, but he says he misses you. He really wanted to be a part of the show today, and I could have really used him or any co-host of this, but no one's available right now. We may have to reschedule. Yeah, because today my throat's a little scratchy. I guess I was really tired yesterday. I did the whole Homer Simpson fall asleep and snore with your mouth open, and yeah, that's a little rough right now. But I'm gonna make do with that. Might be a shorter show, because I think the dynamic of the show is having conversations with our guests, our hosts, and the chat. So I'm just thinking if we don't get that many people joining us live, which we do the show live on allgames.com and on twitch.tv/Geeky Antics. I might just cut it short. But anyway, what else? You can also interact with us via voicemail, 206-415-4987, or email us. That's still a thing. It's still a thing. TWTT@geekyantics.net, or if you just want to email anyone else on our network, anyone that's on a stream team or a podcast host at geekyantics.net, you just email mail@geekyantics.net, and then I'll make sure that it gets to the right people. Yeah, I'm taking care of a little house cleaning, I guess, a little housekeeping right at the top of the show. So it's the countdown to Doctor Who. So we gotta switch gears. We've been doing more of our other aspects of the show. Like I like to think that people that get to know us, listen enough, know that we're into sci-fi and fantasy as a whole, creative writing, and not just Doctor Who, or not just The Walking Dead, not just TV shows as a whole. Fandoms is a big part of it, and we talk video games too because we do stream on Twitch, and you have to have a minimal. There's a minimum level of video game talk that you need to have there for it to be considered acceptable. Make sure the sound levels are good here. Boom. So I had a whole little kind of dialogue plan with Oolong, which will be weird as a monologue, so I'm gonna skip that. And make sure I edit the notes. Let's just jump right into it. And shout out to CCW Ninja 5, first person in the chat this morning, actually afternoon. Oh, am I hosting someone? Well, poop. Do I have to start all over again? Uh-oh. Da-da-da. Well, I thought I unhosted. Yeah, I'm a mess this morning because my host didn't show up. Hopefully it recorded. Well, for those that missed the first few minutes, you have to listen to the audio podcast feed. You didn't miss too much, just introductions and stuff. Not worth starting out over from the top, I don't think so. But thanks to Rogue Bishop for the heads up there. I didn't. Yeah, it did say I was hosting someone. I had just completely ignored it. It's one of those days. But moving forward, so don't forget you can catch us. Our archived shows are at allgames.com. They're also at geekyants.net/podcasts. You can also listen to Time Mommy Tea Time on Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Spreaker, Windows Marketplace, tons of places. You'll find us if you just Google us. So anyway, now for all the lovely things we will discuss during tea time today. In the first half, we're gonna have our Before We Go Deeper segment, which we did a little bit of that beforehand. And that's where we just do some network announcements and little mini sections, little mini segments, little tidbits, if you will. Then, we're on YouTube too. Yep. YouTube.com/Geeky Antics. That's a good call. It's a good place to go. We don't focus on YouTube as much because it's a very crowded space, but we have that out there for those that like the video and can catch Twitch or don't like Twitch. So there's options for everyone. Then we'll have our Who News segment. We actually have some news today, including a good amount of Whovian news, which we may end up just rehashing next week when I can get Oolong on not next week, next show, which will be 2 weeks from now. We are bi-weekly. Or is it semi-weekly? Who knows? Maybe semi-monthly. Yeah? Or who knows? There's a whole debate. So it's language semantics. Then our tea time topic, we'll talk more about anime. I'm going to keep that pretty light because I want to really have Oolong in here for the conversation. But if you guys have any anime or anime, whichever way you prefer saying it, picks or experiences, or maybe you never got into it and you want to know what's a good starting point, this would be a good show for you. Our previous episode 2, episode 32, would be a good place for you to start up as well. Then in our second half, we'll have the gaming verse, where we'll talk more Magic Origins and other games that I've been playing, and see what you guys have been playing as well. You guys and gals. When I say you guys, it's unisex, so. But I say you guys and gals, because some people really want that. They want to be singled out. You guys, gals, and robots. And perhaps genderless entities. Like maybe you're... What are those... what's the alien race from Mass Effect? I love Mass Effect, but I'm so bad with names. The ones that tend to be pretty adept at psionic abilities. They say that they're genderless, but they portray them as women, which is interesting. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. So we said the second half we're gonna have the gaming verse, more Magic Origins talk, and then we'll have our outro and shoutouts. That's it. Pretty simple. We usually have a segment 2 in the second half called a community interconnect, where we have chat, feedback, and sponsors, plugs, and most importantly is community stuff like comments and whatnot. But since we don't have that many comments right now, we won't have that. So I probably should move our plugs to that segment. I've been doing them at the top. I might be doing a little bit of switching around. So anyway, before we go deeper, let's do it. So last episode, a couple weeks ago, we did not have a TWTT word of the day. So I brought you a real humdinger of a word here. And our word of the day comes to us as usual from dictionary.com. It's brickbat. Brickbat. Which sometimes I think at one point I did think it was brickbat, but it's brickbat. I love that word. Yeah. And brickbat is a noun that means an unkind or unfavorable remark, perhaps a caustic criticism. I love the word caustic. Caustic as abrasive, you know. Example of if it's used in this context is the critics greeted the play with brickbats. Brickbats. You gotta kind of say it really fast. Bats made of bricks, perhaps. Or it could be a piece of broken brick, especially one used as a missile. That seems painful. Some quotes from dictionary.com. And we're not sponsored by them. I just like using their stuff because I think it's great getting wonderful words sent to you right in your inbox. Big fan of dictionary.com. An oldie but goodie. But, alright, so quotes. They have a quote here from Arthur J. Goldberg. It says Arthur J. Goldberg was greeted by many bouquets and a single brickbat today as he pledged to serve fairly and without bias as Supreme Court Justice. And this is Goldberg, as is hailed by senators, promises to be fair, as is justice. New York Times. Did they misspell that on purpose? September 12th, 1962. Okay. Origin, brickbat entered. This is the origin of brickbat. Brickbat entered English as a term for a missile made out of a piece of brick. In this formation, bat means any fragment of brick or hardened clay. Okay. And brickbat entered the English language in the mid-1500s. Wow. Yeah. That kind of makes sense. I can see that. It seemed, I thought it was like Old English, you know. So I think that would align, kind of. Yeah. It worked. It checks out. I always picture people wearing fancy knickers, you know, fancy pants, saying, you know, why don't you just quit with all that brickbat? Not quite in that tone or accent, perhaps. So, I mentioned the sponsor messages earlier, and I want to thank all our sponsors and all our patrons, all the people that we call our heroes. You know, our friends, our family, our communities that we're tapped into, the Geeky Ants community, the All Games community. All together, we affectionately refer to you folks as the gang. Hashtag the gang. The gang is not necessarily everybody that's part of our team officially, but it's people that I think are fully vested in what we're doing, and you all matter to us, or whatever, regardless of what capacity you're working with us and supporting us. And that's the proper preposition. And you can find those sponsors over at geekyanswers.net/sponsors. Am I a little congested? I am. I think my nose is whistling. Let me take care of that. Clearing the throat. Okay. So yeah, much love to our biggest sponsors amongst them. And I know, people say don't play favorites, but you gotta play favorites because there are people that pull more than others. So I want to say thanks to shinyprince.com and Jinx. You can check them out at the following links: geekyanswers.net/weddings, geekyanswers.net/shinyprince. Those first two are both Shiny Prince links, and geekyanswers.net/Jinx. And the latter, I'll tell you real quick. So Shiny Prince, they do metal prints, they do wedding photo frames, they do collage. They have a collage app, a lot of great stuff. You gotta check them out. And then Jinx, if you haven't heard of them by now, they've been selling geeky and gamer related apparel since like $19.99. They've been on the grind. So check those fine folks out. And a quick reminder, we'd love to see some hashtag Nintendo Day and hashtag Retro Friday inspired collages. If you go to the Shiny Prince link, there should be a nice little link there for the collage app. If not, you can test it out over. You can either go shinyprince.com/collage to test the beta, and the future site for that Shiny Prince app, that service will be photofunmaker.com. I know it's a lot of links, but hopefully you can just pick and choose the ones that interest you the most. Anyway, email your retro gaming collages to mail@geekyantsys.net or TWTT@geekyantsys.net, and don't be shy. Both of those will get to me, so I'll make sure that something's done with it. I may not be super timely with it, but I will do my best. And again, reminder, we are usually live on allgames.com and twitch.tv/geekyantics every other Saturday at noon Eastern, 5 p.m. in London, 4 p.m. in Madrid. I had to double check that as I'm reading it. If you missed the live show, you can tune in to YouTube on Saturday evenings. I'm usually pretty good about getting those up right away. You can also check out, check out youtube.com/geekyantics. I'm jumping ahead here. Or you can search Twitter for hashtag TWTT, as I mentioned earlier, for links to our latest YouTube uploads and related conversations. And a word of warning, the other shows on allgames.com and geekyantics.net may not be age appropriate, or dare I say, your cup of tea. Shout out to 365 Flicks podcast. We're talking to many shows about working with us here at geekyantics.net. Maybe possibly joining the All Games family, because there's some spots opening up there. All Games makes their own decisions. I have no control over there, but we do like to work closely with them. Derek H. is a good guy. And there's a lot of great podcasts and podcast hosts and just wonderful friends out on allgames.com. But 365 Flicks podcast are friends across the pond. They're a huge fan of the name of this podcast. They love Timey-Wimey Tea Time, but they're not huge Whovians. They admitted they find the whole premise silly. It's a man in a blue box traveling time and space. I think that's part of the fun. And but it's not for everybody. So I appreciate that they were honest. But hopefully they like some of the other subject matter we cover here. It's not just Doctor Who. That's just a big part of it. And what else? What else do we want to cover today? And don't forget, folks, we are here for you. The Geeky Answers Network in our community, affectionately called The Gang, as I mentioned earlier. It's I'm going to keep repeating some things to kind of create parallelisms and reinforce messages. We're not just a stream team. We're not just a media outlet or a podcast network. We're a collaborative network, a real team that's working to give everyone the tools they need to host, create, and promote geeky content. To make your vision come to life, your dreams come to life. So if you need help getting started or ramping up your efforts with content creation, and you have something special, something geeky, give us a shout. Don't be shy. So many folks, and I want to keep bringing it up because so many folks try to do it alone, and it just drives me batty. Why are you doing it alone? Why? It's so much easier if we work with folks, as a team, So, but people, I guess they try to do it alone because they're afraid that their ideas might be stolen, or I don't know, they might have competition. There's a lot of fears that people have. And let me tell you something about fear. I know this is a cliche, but it is so true. 99% of the stuff that we fear doesn't come to happen. But the thing is, we remember the few things that we, do actually, the few things that we actually called and do come to be, we remember those. So we're like, see, told you that was going to happen. That's why I don't do that. And that's just a bad attitude to have, Just, you gotta believe in people, enable them, to empower them to be able to help you out. And as I'm rambling on, I'm moving stuff around. show notes and whatnot. Because my ADD, or perhaps it's OCD, that's more OCD, kicks in. So I just wanted to put that out there. I've had a lot of folks to ask about certain podcast techniques and certain things that we do, how to get started and XYZ, you know, how to do what I do, like work from home. And, you know, it's feast or famine for me, but I have a good grasp on it. And admittedly, I'm not doing as well as I should be doing because I'm so busy helping others, and sometimes I could be a procrastinator. I will own that. We all have our opportunities. And it also happens that some people are really good at giving advice that is really good, but they're not always good at taking their own advice. So I think we all know what that's like, right? Let me take a little sip of my coffee here. That's good stuff. I just want to say we miss your brilliant comments on YouTube. We used to have some really high quality comments. I think a big part of that was Stan was just really hardcore about asking people for comments constantly, and I would love to make the rounds to just ask people to leave comments and join conversations, but you know, I got a stream team to look after, and it's like everyone on our team wants me to kind of like cater to them individually. It's easier for a bunch of people to come to one person and one person go to seek out a bunch of other people to get them to do what they should be doing already. It's a struggle. I'm kind of like a babysitter, but I love our team, and it's coming together. It's coming together. I don't wanna seem backhanded or anything, but it's part of the evolution of any network, any collaboration. You kind of gotta work through those growing pains, but I'm gonna start doing that when we have certain topics. Like right now, I've been asking folks to get in on a conversation. We have a series we're about to wrap up on Horseplay Live. We're talking about the top NES games of all time, which I guess you don't really have to say of all time because NES is not currently active. But you know, the top NES games, and there was the top 100 list on IGN.com, and we questioned some of their choices and. The fact that they left out some ones that we feel really should be there. So it's been a great conversation. We almost always go back to the retro stuff. I guess part of it's nostalgia, and part of it is those were simpler times, you know. And you know, from a game developer, when we talk about game developing, you know, people had more fun. I think they were more passionate about developing. Now it's more business. That's kind of what happens. It's kind of a necessary evil. You got to make money eventually, right? Doing things just out of love it's a beautiful notion. But if you're really good at something, you're really passionate about it, why shouldn't you make money doing it? And that's why I ask you guys humbly, you know, donate. If you spare even $5, I will make that money stretch. It will help me put food on the table. It'll help me keep helping others do their geeky stuff. And it's really easy. Just go to geekyants.net/donate. There's ways you can support the network, and there's a handy-dandy link right at the top that will allow you to donate. And I'm constantly redesigning those pages to make them look a little nicer and whatever, but it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty minimalist, I guess you could say, but there's a lot of ways you could help us out there. Last but not least, I want to say again that you could leave us voicemail, 206-415-4987. Again, 206-415-4987. If you're calling outside of the U.S., it's 011-206-415-4987. You can also email us a short MP3, ideally about 30 seconds, a minute tops. You can send that to TWTT@geekyants.net. And it doesn't have to be Doctor Who. It could be about your favorite anime or a video game that you're playing or a short story that you wrote. There's a lot of things that's within the scope of this show. And if you want to catch up with our previous videos, you know, we have the handy-dandy short link, bit.ly/TWTT playlist. And that's TWTT in all uppercase. And that covers all the housekeeping. So, on to our Who News segment. We share some Whovian and geeky news. And I was going to grab a little sound bit here from Monty Python. You know, where I just go, and now for something completely different. That's not how you really say it, but, you know, it's not an impression. But I'm going to do it in a slightly different voice, so you know that's the sound bit. There you go. Headlines for this week. Alright, we're going to do it a little different this time. We're going to have a few headlines, kind of go through them machine gun style. we're gonna have a little segment here. I'm gonna just say this ahead of time. We're gonna talk about grammar myths and how there's folks that there's things that we learn. So I'll probably start off with this one. We're not gonna go deep into it. We're gonna revisit this, but I found a really interesting article. The headline was I think it came to me from Dig, and it was a Dig Digest, and it said your grammar is wrong or something like that. Something eye-catching. They usually write things in a manner that just makes you just stop and go, "Hey, what are you saying?" So apparently, a lot of stuff that we've learned in school, you know, if you're in any country where English is the native language, a lot of the stuff we've learned in school that are absolute rules that you must follow, apparently are not true. They're all a bunch of bunk. So there's been a bunch of talk about this. This is one of those discussions that always it's kind of cyclical. It goes away and then it comes back. It always rears its ugly head, I guess you could say, because people can be really mean when they think you're using grammar incorrectly or just you're not speaking English properly. And a lot of it comes from archaic rules, kind of prestigious historical relics, let's say. But what I found interesting, I found the whole discussion so interesting that I did some more digging, and I found a site called Grammarphobia, and they have a bunch of grammar myths there. And then OxfordDictionaries.com had a bit called 7 Language Myths We Learned in School. So we'll probably do, maybe for episode 34, this will be a little segment. Maybe we'll do a little writer's workshop, because it's been a while since we talked about writing and the creative process. So maybe that'll be maybe that'll be a tea time topic. Well, we gotta do the anime stuff too. Maybe we'll do another little nook. We'll do writer's nook, and that could be something we'll do more often. We have talked writing before, but I want to make that kind of recurring theme. It won't be every show, but when we have topics like this, I think it's important for people to know that, you know, don't worry, don't get stuck on the rules. They're not as stringent as you think, unless, you know, maybe you're told you have to follow APA or MLA writers guidelines. But a lot of the stuff, you know, in the vernacular and the colloquial uses of language, I mean, even there's a lot of writers that are published, a lot of authors that are published, and they break rules all the time. So they'll get stuck on that stuff. A lot of times it's just the people that assert those rules tend to be folks that just want to claim some sort of superiority. It's an elitist mentality, basically. So that was an interesting headline. Some more headlines. Missy and Kate Stewart. Kate Stewart of Unit and the Lethbridge Stewart family, one of the oldest lineages, I would say, in the Doctor Who universe, the Whoverse. They're both back for Series 9 of Doctor Who. And this comes to us from digitalspy.com. What else do we have? Cultbox.co.uk reports on everything that we know, well, that they know so far about Series 9. Some interesting stuff there. And again, I kind of wanted to talk with Oolong about this. I'm just going to go through the headlines. There's also there's a photo circulating around where there's some Daleks in the shot, and Missy's there with them. And some folks are speculating that it's Skaro in the background, because it looks like a quarry, a kind of desolate, destitute kind of land. It's interesting too. Apparently, Skaro used to be filmed in a quarry, at a quarry in Leeds, and now it's filmed on location in the Canary Islands. I think they did finally announce that officially it is Skaro, and that I know for sure. Don't quote me on the other stuff, but I know for sure that this is supposed to be a 2-part story in Series 9, so that should be interesting. I think that's important because a lot of the Dalek stories have been one-shots, they've been one-offs, and that hasn't done it justice. think they need to do a proper Scarro story arc, or at least a two-parter. You know, that's a good start. I feel sometimes like sometimes they just make the Daleks. They put the Daleks there just as fan service. Like, hey, here's some Daleks. All right, well, bye. Now, moving on from Doctor Who news, from the Whovian news. Humble Bundle, Boy from Space. We're talking about video games here. The Boy from Space, I believe that's what it's called, that bundle. That bundle's about to expire. I think if you're listening live, you got a couple of days. And it just added the Might and Magic Humble Bundle at humblebundle.com/weekly. So jump on that. Some really good games for dirt cheap, and you get to help out charity. What is there not to like about that? Save money and help out a good cause. The Boy from Space Humble Bundle supports the Challenger sensors. If you're into space exploration and such, good thing to support. And Might and Magic Humble Bundle, I think, goes to Make-A-Wish Foundation, one of those big ones. They have the details on there to give you the official word on it. So, on our games radar, and it's nothing to do with GamesRadar.com, but on our radar for gaming, Gears of War Ultimate Edition is coming out very soon. Destiny Taken King's coming out right after that, soon after that. Call of Duty Black Ops 3 is coming out soon. This is kind of in order of release, more or less. Rainbow Six Siege. Yep. Fallout 4 and The Division. There's some more stuff in between all of that, but that's kind of what I have on my radar. What do you have on your radar? Let us know. Tweet us. You have our info. I'm at YogiZilla. I'm YogiZilla everywhere. On Xbox Live, Tumblr, Instagram, all that stuff. Smite. Smite has launched officially on Xbox One, and I feel kind of bad because I have some friends over at High Res Studios. Well, not really friends. We'll say buddies, acquaintances, friends. People throw the word friend around too liberally, kind of like the word love, and I want to cheapen it. But I do appreciate these folks. They support our network, and we support High Res Studios. And High Res Studios is actually local to me because I'm in Georgia and they are in Georgia, so I'm quite partial to Smite. And they're doing really great things over there. The Xbox One version of Smite is great, and now it's officially launched. I just feel bad because I wanted to get some more codes out for people that weren't in on the beta, and we didn't end up getting rid of all of them. We kind of ended up sticking with a lot of them, a lot of the codes, and not no good. And also, would it be cool if I were proactively told everybody that if you were part of the beta test, you got a special little icon, and there was a limited window to get the Founders Pack. Now there's no more. It's kind of sad face. I don't feel bad though. I missed out on it too. So we're in the same boat. The Black Ops 3 beta came out on PS4. It came out its first to the PS4. A lot of mixed reviews, mostly negative. People don't like how. I think the biggest issue was that the multiplayer servers were terrible bad. Well, servers implied multiplayer. I would assume. I would think so. Yeah. So this is Call of Duty series is predominantly a multiplayer experience, and the fact that they weren't ready for the load on those servers, kind of silly. So shame on them. Ooh. Fear the Walking Dead. There's some news on that. Apparently, it's going to feature. It's gonna feature Patient Zero. Interesting. That's gonna change the dynamic quite a bit. Now, how will that tie into the mainstay TWD show? Who knows? But if you want more information, if you want the scoop on The Walking Dead or anything zombie or horror related, make sure you visit our friends Matt, Ted, Sean, and Norma over on ZombieCast, which is on allgames.com. Oh, hey! Next time, if I'm sitting on a bunch of codes, Derek H, I will get you some codes. And we do have a co-host, but life happens. Scheduling. So I'm solo right now. You want to come on and co-host? You're welcome to. For the last hour and a half we have. But did I not change the stream title? I'm pretty sure I did. Alright, hold on. I don't know why it doesn't change right away. Hopefully that takes effect. Let me know if that worked, Derek. Little inside baseball. Hey, the Burnt Pig 55 in the house. What's up, brother? All right, what else do we have on the headlines here? And this one's a little bit, we try to keep the show pretty G-rated because we want to reach as many people as possible for the subject matter herein. But this one's a little NSFW, I would think. This is a big trending topic on Twitter. I don't know why it was such a big deal, but apparently people were shocked that D's Nuts is not a presidential candidate. Yeah. That was actually at top 5 trending topics on Twitter for a day or two. So I don't know what that says about the world, but yep. Fantastic Four. Apparently the new movie is bombing at the box office, and that's all we have to say about it. And the last headline: cute cats, just because. So moving on. Let's get to our tea time topic. And like I said, we're just gonna breeze through it. We're gonna continue the anime summer fun series, and we hope that those of you that are watching anime can share some of your picks. I know Oolong had a couple of them. I gotta go back and listen to the show so I can get those started. Maybe next time we could, catch up on these other shows and see where we're at with those. Cause I know he did not watch. By the way, there might be spoilers here. Spoiler alert. And they might be giants. Alright? So with summer winding down and shows about to start, a return in the fall. Fall season is big for TV. Many of us have turned to anime. Just random sci-fi fantasy shows for our fix of geeky consumption. But anime in particular seems to be on a rise in our community, so that's what we're talking about. Hi! I said hi in the stream. Hello! I can't type. I can't always type in the chat while I'm streaming, because then the typing comes up in the show. Remember, this is a podcast too, and people will deal with that in a video, but in an audio feed where all they have to go on is audio. Not a good thing. I could lower the sound of the clicking, but I can't always get rid of it completely. So, I'll say hi while I'm streaming, but I can't always type it. Nothing against you guys. I do love you. But I have to be somewhat professional. Just a smidge. The anime, anime is all the rage right now. A lot of people have been talking anime, and I'm finding out more and more as we talk about it. There's people I didn't even think were into anime that are into anime. So that's kind of cool. I like that kind of camaraderie there. So I gave Oolong, my co-host, as Derek H mentioned, who's not on the show right now, but he will be back. He will be back. Scheduling conflicts and all of that for those that missed the beginning. I gave him homework. I said he has to catch up on Beelzebub. Oh, I see what you're saying. There's no mods in the chat right now. Gotcha. Yeah, that's true. I should have a mod in here. That's a good point, actually. I guess I don't have enough mods in the Geeky Antics channel. I'm doing well, Burnt Pig. Doing well. Can't complain. Got a little bit of a scratchy cold. I think I might have. I got a little bit of scratchy throat. I might have something coming on. So, hopefully not. Might just need rest. I don't get enough sleep. That's bad. If you're young, do not take sleep for granted, because the older you get, the more the lack of sleep takes a toll on you. Trust me on this. Do not take that for granted. Yo, long for those days when you had every opportunity to take power naps or sleep in. So yeah, I'm having Oolong catch up on Beelzebub. More importantly, I wanted to catch up on Tokyo Ghoul, because he didn't know, like most people, he didn't know there was a second half to that show. And the manga is apparently ongoing. But if you watch Tokyo Ghoul, it ended on a cliffhanger. And it was just so abrupt. And it wasn't meant to leave like that. What ended up happening is they made another series called Tokyo Ghoul Route A, which really is season 2 of Tokyo Ghoul. Now that one ended on a bit of a cliffhanger, but you'll get a lot more closure out of it. Geronimo! That's right. So yeah, So Tokyo Ghoul Route A takes place exactly at the end of the original Tokyo Ghoul series. So you have 12 episodes in Tokyo Ghoul, and then 12 in Tokyo Ghoul Route A. And I hear talks that there will be another series coming. Hello, 5454. We do not take calls here directly, because a lot of people try to troll. Especially people that just jump into the chat, don't know what the subject matter is. But you can leave us voicemail. If you're really serious about interacting with the show, you have a voicemail hotline, 206-415-4987. 206-415-4987. If you want live interaction, we do a lot of that on Horseplay Live. And yeah, the reason we don't take calls here is because we keep this show as clean as possible, and all we need is someone calling in and dropping an F-bomb or whatever. Because, you know, maturity level on the internet overall is pretty low, sadly. But hello, 5454. That sounds redundant. Hello to you, hello. Is there a song that goes like that? I don't know. But yeah, and most of our shows are interactive, but some of them, while they may be live, don't have quite as much interaction. So you can leave us comments on YouTube. You can call in our voicemail line, or you can email us, mail@geekycancer.net or TWTT@geekycancer.net. So you're still a part of the show. I read the chat if it's relevant and clean. So don't worry, we still have that interaction, but no call-ins here. Horseplay Live, that's where you want to go. Thursday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern, and we have the 5 p.m. Eastern replay over at allgames.com. That's not live though, obviously. It's a replay. I want to ask all you folks to catch up on One Piece and Fairy Tail. Those are pretty long-running shows. One Piece for sure. That One Piece might be the longest-running show right now. I don't think Dragon Ball Z counts really, because they're doing movies still. But One Piece is probably the longest-running right now. I may be wrong. Shin-chan is actually kind of getting up there, I think, too. But yeah, if I would like you guys to get caught up so we can talk about this and not spoil it completely for you. Yeah, that guy must have been a troll. He joined the chat, and then we said we don't take calls. He left. See that? Why do people do that? Just you know, they join in, new show, new channel. They're like, do you take call-ins? Well, if this show can't be completely about me, and I can't troll you, I'm gonna leave. That's a shame. That's alright. That's alright. Oh, snap. We just got some keys for Fieria. That's one of the newest TCGs, right? That's the one that's, if I'm not mistaken, developed in Sweden. It's got a very interesting art style. Big shout out to Paul G, aka Deckard C, who helps us out with some of our public relations and whatnot stuff. When is the stream starting? You don't hear me? Weird. The stream is starting now. Am I missing something? Oh, it says I'm streaming. The audio levels are good. You think, when is the stream starting? Uh-oh. You don't hear it? Alright, hold on a second, guys. I know they hear me on all games. Okay. Try it. No, I think it might be on your side, Burnt Pig. Maybe that's why they hear me say hello. Oh, the audio's definitely working. It's a podcast. There's no video. There's no video on this one. Yeah, I don't do video on this. I don't do webcam on it, cause why? You don't always need a webcam. Okay, yeah. So Fairia, that's the one that's like a tabletop battle game. It's got like a tactics element. Yeah, so there's no webcam on this show. You know, the way I look at it, it's just another thing that could break. I don't think it fits this show. You know, another show might do it. You know, we like to do different kind of looks and feels for all our podcasts. So, oh, you muted it. That's why. Whoops. And shout out to Delayed Shots in the chat. All right, Fairy. They're still like in alpha, so they're doing a playtest right now. Oh, sweet. So we'll check that out. So, we got about 5 keys for Area, and I'm gonna have to snatch up one of those. That game was actually on my watch, but I just was kind of lazy, and I haven't bothered to reach out to a lot of developers. I know I should. A lot of my contacts in the area. Okay, so I might be doing a giveaway this weekend. Trying to think what the quickest way would be to get it out there. Maybe I'll just send a tweet. I think that'd be the best way. I'll send a tweet out, and then yeah, let's do that. Send me a tweet if you're interested in being part of our gang nights. That's our community gaming nights. If you're interested in Bay Area, send me a tweet. Hashtag TWTT. Hashtag Fairia. It's FAERIA. Yeah, that's good. And then the subject, the body could be whatever. Just say something. Try to keep it clean, because then the developer might see it, be like, "Hey, I want to play with the gang. Hey, I want to play with you guys. Let's do this." Whatever you want to say, you know. Or I love deck building games. Whatever you want to say. And then from there, I will choose a random person from that list. Yeah, that's how we're gonna do it. Or maybe I'll give you further instructions. We'll see. I'm thinking about this. I'm spitballing right now. But if you're interested, let me know. So in the chat, the Burnt Pig 55 asks, when is the next Doctor Who episode? So Series 9 is supposed to be starting September 29th, I think. You thought I was British? Really? How did you think that? Did I come off as British on Horseplay? That'd be funny. I don't think. Do I have the British swagger? Nice. I do like their accents, and still quite smitten by them. So wrapping up the anime talk, I also recommend we've been watching Gate. That's only like 7 or 8 episodes in, and that's ongoing. And we watched Zetman. Zetman's interesting. It's a short show. It's about 12 episodes. It's kind of got the Guyver kind of vibe to it. And it's just, a superhero story. But what I like about Zetman is that it brings to question, the whole notion of justice. Like, what is justice? Like, if justice is purely self-righteous and it's not selfless, is it really justice, or is it purely revenge? So there's this whole, one of the ongoing themes is, what is your sense of justice, and is it really justice? What is a hero really? They also have a notion about, like, sacrificing. Like, really, a true hero is about sacrificing, either sacrificing himself or sacrificing a loved one. So, most heroes really are tragic heroes. So, a lot of interesting stuff. In there. Oh, Ninja, you're Brazilian? I never knew that. Yeah, I always joke, like, a lot of people that I know that are Brazilian in heritage tend to be very, like, calm, serious, perhaps dry at times. That's not a bad thing, and I mean no offense for that, but it doesn't surprise me. Now it all makes sense, Ninja, because you're a pretty serious young man. I like that about you. You're a very respectful young man. I appreciate that about you. Shout out to the Polydamus. Polydamus? Am I saying right? Or Paladinmus? Pallid Mist. Wow, I'm bad. So those are our anime pick for now. I have been catching up with Fairy Tail quite a bit. I'm up to like episode 52-ish. And they're up to, that's still ongoing. They're up to episode 72, 75. And I always enjoyed it, Fairy Tail. That's a fun one. It's like the same vibe, like Fairy Tail, One Piece, Naruto, Soul Eater. They all have kind of the same vibe. Oh, I did catch Soul Eater Not finally. That's already about a year or two old. I enjoyed it. It's a very different kind of vibe from the original Soul Eater anime. It was a lot more. It felt a lot more geared towards younger audiences. It kind of had the kawaii, kind of cutesy, soapy elements to it. It's kind of, it's still a hero story. There's still some action in it, but it's not the focus. It's more, you know, more romantic. It's more about the struggles that young people go through in school. Because these are like middle schoolers, junior high school, kind of early high school type students. I think they're like 13 or 14. They're like 14 years old, I think. So it's interesting. Though, the one thing that kind of, I don't know if this was intended, if they just kind of made it, they kind of just left it loose. Like, they kind of left it open-ended, for lack of a better word. Because I got the distinct impression that they were kind of, they had like lesbian innuendo in there. And nothing wrong with that. But I just didn't know what they were trying to do with, like, where they were trying to go with that. It was weird. So, like, at first you think it's, for the most part, it's a story about the bonds that form with friendships and unlikely friends. And then those unlikely friends become unlikely heroes. But then there's like this weird, and one thing about the Soul Eater series is that they tend to have, it's a little more, I would say it's more for mature audiences on the most part, because there's a lot of innuendo in there and kind of borderline stuff that, like, they definitely try to go for some perversion in there. it's borderline hentai, I would say. Let's see, what do we have in the chat here? Oh, Burt Pig 55 says that he heard that in season 9 they're going to explain why the doctor chose Peter's face. That they do kind of need to refer to that, because Peter Capaldi showed up in the show before, and the doctor ran into him obviously, and he chose his face. They've alluded to the fact that the doctor can choose the faces that the faces he chooses are people that he met in the past. So hopefully that's something that they tidy up and reinforce further. Okay, correction. We have 4 keys for Ferraria. I was just told that my friend used one of the first keys. Alright. I mean, if it's something you guys are interested in, I'll reach the developers. I have some good contacts in the industry. And Derek H. Let me tell him about it. Yeah, Ferraria TCG / tactics strategy game. Alright, yes, it's in an alpha phase right now. So anyway, yeah, he was in the Fires. Peter Capaldi wasn't in Fires of Pompeii episode. So he was also in Torchwood, if I'm not mistaken. So Ninja keeps reminding me that he's surpassing me in Neverwinter. To be young and have lots of free time. Alright, Ninja, enjoy lunch. And he did. He was like 10 levels under me or so, and now he's like 3 levels ahead of me. Oh snap! Might need to catch up. It's like an unofficial competition at Neverwinter. Bird Pig also says about Doctor Who. Remember that Tom Baker said he will see some old faces later, aka Peter Capaldi or older doctors. Ooh. It's gonna be interesting. And by the way, Bird Pig, you missed the beginning. We talked a little bit about some headlines for Series 9 of Doctor Who. They're saying that Missy is definitely coming back. Kate Stewart from the unit is coming back. The Daleks are gonna have a 2-part story, and what else was the big thing? There's some other stuff too. We'll keep the Doctor Who news coming as we get closer to Series 9, because we only have like 2 or 3 episodes before the series comes back. So yeah, we definitely gotta start talking more Who again, especially as the summer is winding down. So anyway, that's the anime talk. We got about an hour left. Probably won't use the full hour. Let's just jump straight into the gaming verse. The gaming verse, where we talk video games. Yes, what have we been playing? You know, what's going on? Blah 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 blah. Actually, don't have too much to talk about today. Let's see. I'm gonna add some stuff here for next time. Neverwinter. We'll talk about Neverwinter Rare Replay. We're gonna talk about Magic Origins. We'll talk a little about it a little bit. And I know we haven't been talking much about the Heroes of the Storm hype, but it's still very much the hype. The Burn Pig is a big Matt Smith Doctor fan. Yeah, people are usually in Team Tennant or Team Smith. I noticed. It's either David Tennant or Matt Smith. There's especially the Nuvians, that's like the only doctors they acknowledge. But give Chris Eccleston some love. Give Peter Capaldi a chance. I think we're gonna have some fun with that. And I've really been enjoying his interviews too. So me, I've been playing a lot of Neverwinter, and one thing I gotta say, I'm playing on Xbox One now. One thing I gotta say about it is that it's a shame that a free-to-play game offers so much content, and then you look at Destiny, that's a premium game that you pay for it up front. It's a premium game, you pay for it up front, right? It's an off-the-shelf offering. And then you're paying for DLC. But the content's so shallow. And when I try to defend Destiny, I feel kind of ashamed of myself. I'm like, you know what? I don't blame you. Matter of fact, if you wanted to listen to a very good debate about Destiny, tune into the Gaming Death podcast, which is also part of Geeky Ants Network. And we got into a heated debate about, you know, why I say Destiny's not a bad game. It's just not a great game. Like, if Destiny was a game that was made by an indie studio, I bet you it would be received completely differently. But since it's a Bungie game, and there's an expectation there, you know, there's problems there. And then since it's Activision behind it, Bungie now, people want to hate on it. Because, you know, hating on EA and Activision is the geeky thing to do, you know. We tend to be pretty caustic towards those publishers. And they kind of deserve it most of the time. And if you want a more balanced opinion on Destiny, our friends at the Worst Radio Show have Podcast Infinity, and they're also part of the Geeky Ants Network. So check them out. So many great shows to listen to on geekyants.net/podcasts. And we're working on some new feeds, so stay tuned for that. We have an aggregate feed, the Geeky Antics feed on iTunes and Stitcher, and working on other stuff with TuneIn Radio, Player FM, and all that stuff. A good question. How old, the Burnt Pig asks, how old do you have to be to join Geeky Antics? So, there's lots of ways you could join us. And I'm actually working on a formal application process, because I want to start having people that are part of our team and see the value in it. And I notice when I just let people be part of our stream team or be a podcast host, if there's no formal process, people don't take it as seriously. I mean, there is a vetting process, and we talk to each other, and I talk about our vision. But I want to make a more formal application process so people can see what we're really about, what core values we are trying to, and principles that we're trying to reinforce and echo throughout our team. But yeah. Anyway, so you can join us as a member of the gang, as just the overall community, which we call the gang. And if you go to geekyantics.net, you can register on there, and we have forums, and we have private messaging. You could edit your profile, put a profile picture and an avatar. We have scoreboards, and you earn points just by being social, leaving comments, following people, favoriting stuff, connecting your YouTube, connecting your Twitter. Lots of ways to interact there. And we're working on Facebook and like real Facebook and Twitter integration too. There's so much stuff on my plate. I gotta get some help eventually. It's a lot for me to do by myself. I could do it, I just don't have the time. But if you want to join our stream team or our podcast team, I think we do need to make a hard limit on that to make it 18 and up. You can still be like a mod for us, for like stuff like that. Like I don't want, as a parent, I don't want people to be, I don't want a parent to say, hey, that's kind of inappropriate stuff you're listening to, or what are you involved with there? So I think 18 and up for that. I'm still kind of thinking about ways to deal with that. Maybe what we'll do is, as part of the application process, is we'll have like a formal, I should write that down. I'm gonna try to get it done this weekend. I like to have to-do lists. Yeah, we'll do like a formal gang app, and we'll have like a what's the word I'm looking for? A waiver? No, not a waiver. An affidavit confirming that you are 18 or older. Yeah. Maybe I'll make it fancy so you have to like fax it in or something. So we'll see. Or I'll do like an e-sign document. But the Bird Pig says he wants to be a free game streamer, like finding free games and judging them, letting people know about the free games, the hidden games in the stream. Yeah. Yeah, and I have no problem working with young people, but it's a delicate thing. So you can still be part of everything we do. We have community gaming nights. But as far as like officially part of the team, we say like you're part of the Geeky Ants and then we're part of the stream team. I'm still kind of thinking about how to do that properly. It's out of respect out of my fellow parents because I know how that is. Like I don't like when my kids are acting up, no matter what age they are, or just talking a certain way or mixing with the wrong crowds. So that's an important thing to acknowledge. But yeah, that'd be cool. Like if we could have someone like I like people that do niche things. Like if we had someone that focused strictly on free games, free to play games, and try them out and do like little mini reviews and stuff, and we could do YouTube videos. That'd be neat. So yeah, let me work on that. I'll put together some paperwork, like just so like we cover our butts and your parents have something to check out. Because that's a very important thing. Getting those formalities out of the way, and maybe we could do like videos and stuff like that where you do little mini reviews of different free to play games. That'd be cool because there's a lot of them out there. If you look at Steam, a lot of people don't know there's a lot of free to play games on Steam and a lot of games that go free from time to time on Steam. You just gotta keep searching for them. So, but yeah, definitely register on our site geekyantics.net. And that's the first step. We want the people that we're going to consider the highest are people that are using our forums, leaving comments on our articles. That's a huge one that a lot of people don't do. There's people on our team right now that don't do that. That's why you can be part of our team, but then there's a higher level, like the core team. And there's only a handful of people that I can say are really like fully invested in Geeky Antics and really believe in what we're doing and are passionate about working as a team and helping to build each other up. Because if we help build up others, we build up ourselves as well. It's just karma, the greater powers that be. If you believe in God, I do, things come back around like that. And it's just logistically it works out that way because as you help others, you get an outside perspective, and then you get you get to reevaluate your own priorities too, and the way you're approaching things. So it's really cool doing that kind of stuff. So yeah, back to gaming. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap up pretty soon. So yeah, it actually will be a shorter show. So Neverwinter, great game, great game. It's just standard MMO kind of stuff, fetch quests, doing dungeon runs, epic boss encounters, lots of looting. It's I've really been enjoying it. It's a lot of people did not give this game a chance, but I mean, it's in the Dungeons and Dragons universe. It's Forgotten Realms kind of modules in there. I mean, it references Baldur's Gate, so plus one, 100 times over. I don't know, thumbs up. Baldur's Gate, that's a series that if you haven't played it on PC or on GameCube or Xbox, I think it was on PlayStation as well. Baldur's Gate or the Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance games, so much fun to play, and they have multiplayer. So now the Baldur's Gate on the PC is more traditional RPG. You got your dice rolls, and it feels less fluid. It's more like a old school RPG. Whereas what they did more with the Dark Alliance games, they're less adventure and more action. So that's the difference. But they're such awesome games. You gotta check them out. And there is Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition. I hear there's issues with doing the online play with it, but otherwise they did a really good job of bringing the game up to date and making it so more people could experience it. Oh, I appreciate that. We're getting some geeky answers love in here. I'm glad you're enjoying what we're doing. We're a humble little network, but we're growing, and especially on the podcast front, we're getting more and more downloads. We just had another record-breaking week. The website traffic's looking great across our sites, and just a lot of stuff is happening. We're attracting some A-listers, some game studios, some top streamers, and a lot of cool stuff is happening. It's great. And we like to support the little guys. We're trying to help out smaller streamers, smaller podcasts, new podcasters. That's kind of where our focus is right now. I would say more on the audio podcasts, the audio feeds, and the written content like ebooks, articles. Because that stuff is easier to repurpose into video and streams and all that good stuff. More games. So Rare Replay, I really need to get streaming on this. Every time I look at, I started just to look at the opening video and go through the games and the achievements, and I mean, man, there's a lot of quality in there. If for nothing else, Battletoads and Battletoads Arcade. I wish that the Battletoads Double Dragon game was on there too. Oh, that'd be so cool. But I could play that on the NES or emulate it, so that's not so bad. But still, this Rare Replay collection is amazing. And one of the neat things I discovered about it is, not only do you get these great ports that are like tweaked, they add achievements, and they add like new features, like as far as like different challenges you could do in there, different challenge modes, and they tweak the performance obviously. But there's also the ability to save at any point. You take a snapshot like you do when you emulate. So you can do save states, and you could also rewind at any point. So if you mess up, you do something really silly, you just want to rewind to where you just were, you can do that. So that's pretty cool. Kind of reminds me of Prince of Persia, Sands of Time. That was a great game, and a really cool game mechanic. So definitely got to stream this. I've been streaming a little bit of Magic Origins, and I'm gonna probably do more of that because I get a really good showing when I streamed that on Xbox One. So apparently the console deck building audience is there. I really want to get the new Yu-Gi-Oh game, but $20 is a little steep. I love Yu-Gi-Oh, but oof, I know I'm kind of cheap when it comes to that stuff. But Magic. I love this game. They try to take the Hearthstone free-to-play model, but then they make it more of a grind and making the packs more expensive and making it kind of difficult to get gold. They really want to get you to buy packs. So that's rough. And I still say that the AI, the easy AI, is by no means easy. So I would say just stick to the medium, or heck, even hard. Because the easy is way more difficult than it should be. So playing medium is probably the sweet spot. Yeah, what have you guys been playing? Yeah, a few minutes of chit chat, and then we'll start wrapping this up. In the meantime, again, I want to encourage everybody to visit us at geekyheads.net/donate if you want to support our network. There's different ways you can donate. Monetary donations are always appreciated because it does cost money to host and do giveaways and stuff like that. It may not always be money up front, but it's money because it's time taken away from other things that do pay. So I put a lot of time into this, and I'm mainly doing it by myself. I mean, we do have a team, but everybody's got their own stuff going on, and they can't put in nearly as much time as I do, and I appreciate that. I appreciate people just showing up. That's important. People to show up consistently, that in itself is huge. Like Obi rarely ever misses a show. He's rarely ever late. Obi1x2, who actually I think is streaming right now. I think he is streaming. Let me see. So I might host him after this. He's playing Farm Simulator 15 right now, which I reviewed for allgames.com, by the way. And again, shout out again to 365 Flicks podcast. Matter of fact, let me play. Since I have a little time, I want to play their promo. They get the extra love, and you know what? I would love more promos, more bumpers, so we could play them across our shows and do really cross promote and collaborate together, not just name drop, because it's not as effective. So this is a really good little promo reel that they did. And again, I would like folks to make a bumper. If you like Time with Tea Time and you're a fellow podcaster or streamer, record a little brief bumper. Say, hey, I'm so and so from this show. You're listening to Time with Tea Time. That's all I gotta say. You can say more. You can do a little skit, a little comedy sketch, I guess you could say. You know, make it a little funny, more entertaining. Add your own little flair. Yeah, why not? So here's the promo from the 365 Flicks podcast, the latest member of the Geeky Ants Network.
Put that coffee down.
Calling all film fans, want to add a little more fun to your podcast diet? Well, why not listen to the 365 Flicks podcast? We're the lads from Smallville, UK.
We love to bring you the latest news, our own special brand of meaningless movie nonsense, as well as a bunch of top fives you really won't care about.
I'm Kev.
I'm Chris.
We're pissy.
We're fanboys.
We're having another beer.
We're the 365 Flicks podcast.
You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, iTunes, Podomatic, and many, many others.
Also look for us on musingsofageek.com and wickedradionetwork.com.
Sick of listening to all those overpaid movie critics?
Then tune into the 365 Flicks podcast, your vocal heroes of pissy opinion.
That's great. And by the way, for those that are not good at understanding foreign accents, if you have to be a silly American like me, they're saying pissy. Their pissy opinion. I don't want any confusion on that. And please, when you do submit the bumpers, make sure, you know, they're a minute tops, minute 15 maybe tops. Keep them clean so we can play them on all our shows. And that's it. You can send those to mail@geekyantics.net or directly to me if you want. Yogizilla or Yomar both work at geekyantics.net. Because Yogizilla and Yomar are one and the same. So I think I'm going to start wrapping this up because I really do feel the sniffles coming on. This will be a shorter show today. I'm actually keeping my word today. I think there's been a good amount of quality. We got some good news out there. Share some deals in gaming for you guys. There's some community interaction. We talked about Doctor Who Series 9. Trying to make sure we didn't miss anything. We did our sponsor plugs. Am I missing anything? I want to make sure there's nothing I missed. It's time sensitive. Oh, that's right. Saturday nights, we're bringing back the gang nights. We took like about a 2-week hiatus off of them. And Cards Against Humanity does seem to be the thing that we're going to keep doing. There'll be other games, but that's going to be the mainstay. And now with the Feria, that's going to be something we'll be doing this weekend as well. So stay tuned to my personal Twitter feed at Yogizilla and at Geeky Antics Twitter feed as well. And yeah, Cards Against Humanity we're playing online, so everybody can play it. It's a free-to-play website. It's a Cards Against Humanity clone called Pretend You're Zizzy. There's another one I hear is a better clone. It's called Cards Against Originality. We might switch to that one. I do recommend that it's everybody that you'd be at least a teenager and up. It can get a little raunchy. You don't need to be 18 or older, but let's get a little raunchy. The burnt pig was there last time, where every blank we just filled it with Africa, and for some reason that made us laugh a lot because we're silly. There's certain words you can just use everywhere and they're funny, like eggplant. You just put an eggplant in a blank and then it's like, to me it's comedy gold. Maybe I'm weird. Maybe I'm easily entertained. But folks, it is time to start wrapping it up. This is the part where we do our outro and last minute plugs. And once again, I do want to say check out our sponsors at geekyantics.net/sponsors. And I'm doing some show note edits so I don't forget next week. And you can also donate your time, your services, your monies, if you can spare it. Please don't donate if you're not in a good financial position, because some folks they donate way too much and then they go broke, and that's not cool. I feel bad, and I've given money back. I know Linkwall, one of our friends on the network, they've given back money because people have just gone donation happy and then they're struggling. Oh, burnt pig! I did have the worst cards on that night in Cards Against Humanity, but I made them work, and I actually ended up winning one round, so that was cool. I won one of the sessions, one of like 5 sessions that we played. We played a lot. We did like 4 or 5 hours that night. It was crazy, and there may or may not have been adult beverages involved. But anyway, if you want to donate and support our network, geekyantics.net/donate. Lots of ways you can support us. And we are working on Patreon, so we can have a subscription-based platform and subscription-based services. So have lots of stuff planned for that. I just want to get everything lined up and then launch it at the same time so that it makes sense to do all that stuff. And folks, I really do have the sniffles this bad. I hope it's not coming up in the mic too hard. If it is, I apologize. But folks, don't forget, TWTT can be enjoyed wherever fantastic, beautiful podcasts can be found, including but not limited to Stitcher, iTunes, Zune/Windows Phone Marketplace, TuneIn Radio, Spreaker. Soon we're coming to Player FM and other places. So don't forget, and of course the All Games Radio Network over at allgames.com. And thanks to all our fellow podcasters and streamers. I'll say hello. This to be specific, Kisturberus podcast, the Doctor of the Dead who's talking, Translord Tomb, Rogue Bishop, Morgana Freya. Who else did we mention? Obi-Wan X2, Janelle No 5, Renee Bones. There's so many people I'm going to forget. I know I'm going to forget people. But if you want to see some of our heroes, again, you can get to the networks as sponsors. And shout out to the Zombie Cast. I haven't shouted out Zombie Cast for a while. And I know I mentioned them already earlier in the show, but Zombie Cast, R9 Cast, the B Team Podcast, Knuckleballer Radio, Cat and Fox, they do anime talk. Let's Ask a Lady. All these great shows on allgames.com. So check out the All Games radio family. Awesome people. What else? And I mentioned that already, but I'm going to say it again. Allgames.com. Join us live every other Saturday. All you got to do is go to allgames.com and then click the play button in the little embedded media player. I can't talk today at all. I'm not feeling that well. Sorry, guys. It's part of the reason I'm ending early. And I also want to leave a burn up the discussion for when Ulan's back too. And we stream live at noon Eastern, 5 p.m. in London, 7 p.m. in Bucharest. And geekheads.net, go there, leave some comments. Please leave some comments on the articles. We put a lot of work into this article. We try to write articles that are unique. And we know people are visiting because we can see the unique hits we get on the site and how long people spend on the site. So if you're sitting there reading the page and you're sharing it, I see people that reblog the article, link to it, but they don't leave a comment. Leave a comment. Not only is it great for us because it gets conversations going, but then it gives you the opportunity to get a link back to your site. We don't mind you self-promote. Go ahead and self-promote. The only thing we don't want is people coming just to self-promote. Don't come in and drop a link. Hey, check out my show. Then check out my channel and then leave. No, don't do that. It's got to be give and take. You know, introduce yourself. So let us know what you like. Let us know what your thoughts are on what we're talking about. And then say, hey, you know, I have a podcast about this, or I have a book I wrote about this, or I have a video about this very topic. I'd love you to check it out and share your thoughts over there. And we'll reciprocate. We will reciprocate. But don't be shy. There's so many lurkers out there. The internet's weird like that sometimes. The verification email might take a little while. Check your junk mail. Sometimes it's a little funky monkey. It takes a little while though, because it goes through a third-party server for that. We're starting to storm, so I definitely gotta get going because they might mess with the internet connection. So let me quit while I'm ahead. But we got a bunch of fine folks. You know, if you leave comments, if you use the forums, you could do messaging to other people, but make it public so everybody else can join in the conversation. And there's a lot of cool stuff you can do on the site. And I'm working on really hard at tweaking different things. So if you find a bug, if there's something you would like to make more, if you would like to use but you wish it was more intuitive, let me know. I'm still working on lots of stuff in the pipeline. And it's just a great, if you do these things, these simple little opportunities take you seconds, maybe minutes at most. You'll help encourage our creative engineers, our Twitch streamers, our podcast hosts, our show hosts, and the rest of the gang, the community as a whole, you know. And we'd love for you to hang out with us on the channel, right here on twitch.tv/Geeky Antics. We've been streaming a lot more. We do live shows, we do gameplay. We have new shows that are coming soon. And all that's contingent upon how excited you guys get. So let's get a hype train going. One of our plans is to get a 24/7, to be almost like 24/7 radios and or video content. So it's gonna be huge, and we want to collaborate more with all games and stuff like that. And just, you know, we want to bring you a wide variety of content. And one of the things that I think that we do here on Geeky Antics is we try to be kind of grassroots. We're more about the message and the experience, and not so much about the presentation and the fluff. I'm not saying that high production value and, you know, nice graphics and all that stuff, nice overlays aren't important. But I think a lot of people focus too much on that, and then when it comes down to the actual message, the actual experience they created, it's unremarkable. So I hope that we're saying things that really hit home for you, that tug at your heartstrings, that get you to engage in geeky musings, things that make you laugh, you know, things that make you cry. We hope that we're invoking some special emotions, some feels in you. And yeah, that's basically it. With that, my name is Yomer Lopez, aka YogiZilla. Let's connect. Later today, I'll be doing a little bit of Xbox One streaming on my personal channel, YogiZilla, twitch.tv/YogiZilla. So feel free to add me on Xbox Live. Maybe we could play Neverwinter together. Hopefully I could do some rare replay today. And then tonight at around 8, 9 p.m., maybe 10 p.m. Eastern, depending how quickly we can round up everybody, we'll do our weekly gang night. We also do community gaming after our shows too very often. So I hope to see many of you there. Best place to catch me in real time is probably Twitter, because I get Twitter updates just about everywhere, on tablets, on computers, on my phone, all that stuff. Text message. It's just, I'm connected on the Twitter, so that's the best way to probably reach me. Other than email, email's a good one too. And I think that covers everything. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, we shaved off. We actually shaved off about a half hour to the show today. So, heck yeah, I'll probably get up the video and the podcast even faster now because I'm not even gonna bother splitting the show in half. I guess I could split it in half still. We'll see. But I want to get it out to you as soon as possible so we get some gaming and hanging out together. And that's it, folks. Take care, and I love you.
We thank you. We thank you for every crumb, biscuit and cake you bring to the table. Because Doctor Who belongs to all of us. What you bring to the timey-wimey tea time in your live chat participation, comments, likes, shares, tweets and voicemail, all of it means the world to us. Love, true love, never fails. Do you like it? If you like what we're doing, well, tell us for God's sake. Shout it from the rooftops at geekyantics.net or call it in 206 415 4987. That's 206 415 4987. That's it. Bless you. So long. And thanks for all the fish. Dawn, it won't be that long, just a wee while, because the timey-wimey tea time will be back. We'll return next Saturday with fresh insights, questions and epiphanies about Doctor Who. And heck yes, everything geek. Maybe same bat time, absolutely the same bat channel, every Saturday.
Timey-wimey tea time.
Me gusta.